What if the Everglades hid a monster too terrifying to face? In 1972, I led a team into Florida's darkest swamp. A 7-foot skunk ape hunted us, its stench choking, its red eyes burning. It took Ellie, then Mark, its claws dripping with our fear. We fought back with Seminole rituals, fire and grit, barely surviving. The beast's curse lingered, its growl haunting the swamp for decades. My family carried the fight Lily, Caleb, Emma, until 2040. A final ritual banished it, freeing the Everglades from its terror. But some say its stench still whispers in the reeds. Do you dare to look? Uncover this chilling legend. Watch the mystery unfold now. The Everglades unfolded before me like a dark, wet dream in 1972. I'm Clara Hayes, 28, a wildlife photographer with a stubborn streak and a battered Nikon. Our team of 5 had been planning this expedition for months, chasing rare birds in Florida's swampy heart. The air was a humid slap, thick with the scent of decay-rotting plants, stagnant water, a faint musk of alligator. We waded through knee-deep water, our boots sinking into the muck, our packs heavy with gear. I adjusted my camera strap, my eyes scanning the cypress trees draped in Spanish moss like ghostly curtains. Locals had warned us, their voices low, their eyes darting tailies of the skunk ape, a creature of nightmare. 7 feet tall, they whispered, built like an orangutan, its stench a mix of death and wet fur. I'd laughed, my skepticism sharp. A smelly monkey? I've dealt with worse in the Everglades. But their warnings lingered, a shadow in my mind as we set up camp that first night. We chose a small clearing near a cypress grove, the ground just dry enough for our tents. Tom Reed, our guide, 35, built a fire, his hands steady, his face weathered by years in the swamp. He was a third-generation Everglades man, his family stories as tangled as the mangrove roots. Ellie Stone, 26, a biologist, scribbled notes, her glasses fogging in the humidity. Mark Lane, 30, a cartographer, unfolded his maps, his fingers tracing our route with precision. Sarah Wells, 29, an ecologist, set up her sound recorder, her ear tuned to the swamp's chorus. I snapped a photo of the team, the firelight dancing on their faces, their laughter a fragile shield. Tom passed around a flask, his voice gruff, to the birds and to not meeting the skunk ape. I took a swig, the whiskey burning, my voice light. If it's 7 feet, I'll get a Pulitzer for the shot. The swamp answered with a low growl, the sound rolling through the trees like a warning. We froze, our laughter dying, our eyes darting to the shadows beyond the fire's glow. Tom's hand went to his machete, his whisper sharp. "That's no gator, Clara, not even close." I grabbed my flashlight, its beam shaky, my heart thumping as I swept it across the grove. The air shifted, a stench hitting us, rotting flesh, wet fur, a sour tang that made my stomach turn. Ellie gagged, her voice trembling. "What in God's name is that smell?" I muttered, if the locals were right, we're about to meet their 7-foot nightmare. The growl came again, closer, the ground vibrating, the swamp's silence now a predator's pause. Sarah clutched her recorder, her voice a hiss. "It's real, it's out there, Clara." I aimed my flashlight, its light catching a shape massive, hunched, its eyes glowing red in the dark. The skunk ape stepped into view, its stench a wave, its form a terror straight from hell. I whispered, my voice tight. 7 feet, orangutan build, just like they said. We're in deep now. The beast's fur was matted, its limbs long, its claws glinting in the faint moonlight. Its face was a nightmare flat, almost human, but twisted, its mouth open, revealing jagged teeth. Tom stood, his machete raised, his voice low. "Nobody move, it's sizing us up." The skunk ape growled, its stench overwhelming, its eyes locked on me, a predator's gaze. I clutched my camera, my hands trembling, my mind screaming to run but my feet frozen. Mark whispered, "We need to go now," his map crumpling in his shaking hands. The beast took another step, its growl a promise, the Everglades no longer a sanctuary. I snapped a photo, the flash blinding, the skunk ape roaring as it charged toward us. The swamp erupted, our expedition shattered, the beast a legend we'd woken in the dark. The skunk ape charged, its roar shaking the cypress grove in 1972. I stumbled back, my camera swinging, my flashlight dropping into the muck with a splash. Tom shouted, "Run, don't look back," his machete useless against the 7-foot beast. The fire scattered as we bolted, embers hissing in the wet grass, the swamp swallowing our light. The skunk ape's stench followed, a choking cloud, its growls echoing through the trees. I ran, my boots slipping, my heart pounding, the swamp a maze of roots and shadows. Ellie's scream pierced the night, her voice raw. "Clara, help me. It's got me." I turned, my breath ragged, seeing her silhouette thrashing against the beast's grip. The skunk ape held her, its claws digging in, its red eyes gleaming with primal rage. I shouted, "Let her go, you stinking monster," my voice lost in the swamp's roar. I lunged, grabbing a branch, swinging it at the beast, my fear drowned by desperation. The skunk ape swatted the branch away, its growl a warning, its stench making my eyes water. Ellie kicked, her glasses falling, her scream fading as the beast dragged her into the dark. Tom grabbed my arm, his voice harsh. "She's gone, Clara, we can't save her." I fought him, my tears hot. "We can't leave her, she's one of us." But the swamp was merciless, the skunk ape's growls fading, Ellie's cries now an echo. We ran, our team splintered, the beast's presence a weight on our every step. Sarah sobbed, her recorder dangling. "It's real, it's going to kill us all." Mark panted, his map lost. "We need to find higher ground now." The Everglades closed in, its waters rising, the skunk ape a hunter we'd unleashed. By dawn, we collapsed in a muddy clearing, our bodies trembling, our minds shattered. Ellie was gone, her scream a scar, the skunk ape's stench clinging to our clothes. I clutched my camera, my hands shaking, my voice bitter. "We came for birds, not this." Tom's face was pale, his machete stained with mud. "It's been here forever. We woke it." Sarah wiped her tears, her voice small. "What do we do now? It's not done with us." I stood, my resolve hardening. We find it, we get Ellie back, or we die trying. Mark shook his head, his voice hollow. "You saw it, Clara, it's not just a monkey." The swamp's air was heavy, the stench lingering, the beast's tracks fresh in the mud. I followed them, my team behind me, the skunk ape's path a trail of broken reeds. The Everglades whispered, its curse alive, the beast a guardian we'd underestimated. The tracks led to a deeper grove, the water black, the air thick with the beast's scent. I whispered, "It's close, I can feel it watching us." My camera ready, my fear afire. Tom nodded, his machete raised. "Stay sharp, it's playing with us like a cat with mice." Sarah's recorder hummed, capturing the swamp's eerie quiet, the calm before the storm. Mark checked his compass, his voice tense. "We're miles off course, This is its territory. The growl came again, the skunk ape shadow moving through the mangroves, its eyes red. I snapped a photo, the flash cutting the gloom, the beast roaring as it charged again. We scattered, the swamp a predator, the skunk ape's speed and nightmare in the dawn. Tom shouted, "Head for the ridge, there's a shack." His voice a lifeline in the chaos. The Everglades hunted us, the skunk ape's wrath a force we couldn't outrun. We sprinted toward the ridge, the Everglades a blur of green and black in 1972. The skunk ape's growls followed, its stench a choking fog, its footsteps splashing behind us. I glanced back, my heart in my throat, seeing its 7-foot form crash through the reeds. Its fur was matted with swamp slime, its claws long and curved, its red eyes locked on us. Sarah tripped, her recorder skidding, her scream sharp. "It's gaining, Clara, help." I turned, grabbing her arm, pulling her up as the beast roared, its stench a physical force. Tom swung his machete, his voice raw. "Keep moving, I'll hold it off." The skunk ape swiped, its claws grazing Tom's arm, his grunt of pain echoing in the swamp. Mark shouted, "The ridge, it's just ahead," his compass shaking in his trembling hand. We climbed, the skunk ape below, its growl a promise of death in the morning light. The ridge gave us a moment's reprieve, the swamp sprawling below, its waters dark and still. I panted, my camera swinging, my voice tight. "We can't outrun it, it's too fast." Tom clutched his arm, blood seeping through his sleeve. "It's hunting us, Clara, for sport." Sarah sobbed, her hands muddy. "Ellie's gone now, us? What does it want?" Mark pointed, his voice urgent. "There, the shack, we can make a stand there." The shack was a rotting husk, its wooden walls sagging, its roof half collapsed under moss. We stumbled inside, the door creaking, the air inside stale with the scent of decay. I barricaded the door with a broken chair, my hands shaking. "We need a plan now." Tom rummaged through the shack, his voice low. "Locals leave stuff, maybe a weapon." The skunk ape's growl circled outside, its stench seeping through the cracks, its eyes watching. I peered through a splintered window, the beast's red eyes glaring, its claws scraping the ground. I whispered, "It's waiting us out. It knows we're trapped." My camera useless in my hands. Sarah found a box, her voice trembling. "Look, photos, Bones, some kind of journal." The journal was old, its pages brittle, dated 1950, its writing frantic. I read aloud, my voice shaky. "The skunk ape guards the swamp, a curse from the Seminole days." Tom held up a bone, its surface carved with symbols. "It says fire drives it back. Let's try." Sarah lit a match, her hands unsteady, the flames small but fierce in the dim shack. I grabbed rags, wrapping them around a stick. "If fire works, we've got a chance." The skunk ape roared, its fist smashing the wall, the shack shaking as we prepared. The Everglades held its breath, the beast a legend, our survival a desperate fight. We lit the torch, its flame crackling, the skunk ape's growls growing louder outside. I shouted, "Come on, you smelly bastard, let's see if you like to burn." Tom kicked the door open, the beast lunging, its stench a wave, its claws aimed at us. I thrust the torch, the flames licking its fur, the skunk ape howling as it stumbled back. Sarah screamed, her voice fierce, "Take that, you monster, leave us alone." The beast retreated, its fur singed, its red eyes glaring from the swamp's edge. Mark grabbed my arm, his voice urgent, "We need to move, it'll come back." We ran, the torch our shield, the swamp's shadows stretching long in the fading light. Tom led us to a waterway, his voice grim. There's a boat we can escape on the water. The Everglades watched. The Skunk Apes rage a storm we'd barely survived. The boat was a battered relic, half sunk in the black water of the Everglades in 1972. I held the torch, its flame flickering, the Skunk Ape's growls echoing from the ridge behind us. Tom jumped in, his hands frantic, bailing water with a rusted can. It'll float barely. Sarah climbed aboard, her voice shaky. If that thing swims, we're done for. Mark pushed the boat, his boots slipping. It's our only shot. Move, Clara. I handed the torch to Sarah, my camera swinging, my heart racing as I leapt in. The Skunk Ape roared, its stench rolling down the ridge, its red eyes glowing in the dusk. I muttered, 7 feet of pure terror. I hope you can't swim, you smelly bastard. Tom pulled us through the waterway, the boat creaking, the swamp's silence a predator's paws. The Everglades stretched endless, its waters a mirror, reflecting our fear in the fading light. The Skunk Ape followed, its form crashing through the mangroves, its growls a constant threat. I snapped photos, the flash cutting the gloom, the beast's eyes flaring in each frame. Sarah held the torch high, her voice trembling. It's keeping pace. What do we do? Tom's arm bled through his bandage, his voice grim. We head for the ranger station 10 miles. The boat rocked, an alligator's tail brushing us, the swamp alive with more than one monster. I laughed, my voice bitter. Great, gators and a Skunk Ape Everglades bingo. Mark checked his compass, his hands shaking. We're on course, but it's gaining. The Skunk Ape splashed into the water, its arms stroking, its stench a wave across the swamp. I shouted, it swims fantastic. We're in a horror movie with no script. The beast closed in, its claws slicing the water, its red eyes locked on our boat. We paddled faster, the boat leaking. The torch's flame our only defense against the dark. Sarah thrust the torch, the Skunk Ape recoiling, its growl a mix of rage and pain. Tom pulled harder, his voice raw. We're almost there, hold it off, Clara. I grabbed the paddle, swinging it at the beast. Back off, you oversized skunk. The Skunk Ape swiped, its claws grazing the boat, the wood splintering under its strength. Mark screamed, his voice high. It's going to capsize us, we're done. I shouted, not today, Mark, keep paddling. My arms burning, my fear afire. The ranger station loomed, its lights faint, our hope a fragile thread in the swamp. The Skunk Ape fell back, its growl fading, the water slowing its pursuit. We reached the station, our boat sinking as we stumbled ashore, the beast watching. The rangers met us, their faces pale, their radios crackling as we collapsed inside. I panted, my camera muddy. Skunk Ape, it's real. It took Ellie, maybe Mark. The head ranger, Bill Carter, 50, nodded. We've heard the stories, you're lucky. Sarah sobbed, her torch extinguished. Lucky? It's still out there, it won't stop. Tom clutched his arm, his voice low. It's a guardian, it doesn't let go easily. I stared out the window, the Skunk Ape's red eyes glinting in the distance, its stench lingering. The rangers armed up, their rifles ready. We'll search at dawn, you rest. I shook my head, my resolve firm. Not resting, it took my team, I'm ending this. Bill handed me a map, his voice grim. There's a Seminole site, it might hold answers. The Everglades stood silent, the Skunk Ape's curse, a storm we'd barely escaped. By dawn in 1972, the ranger station buzzed with tension. I sat with Tom and Sarah, our faces haggard, the Skunk Ape's stench still on our skin. Bill Carter spread the map, his finger tracing a path. The Seminole site, it's old. I studied it, my camera on the table. If it's tied to the Skunk Ape, we need to go. Sarah shook her head, her voice small. Go back? After Ellie and Mark? Tom's arm was bandaged, his machete ready. We owe them, Sarah, we finish this. I nodded, my voice firm. That 7-foot monster doesn't get to win, not today. Bill handed us supplies, salt, herbs, a flare gun. Seminole curses need rituals. We trekked out, the Everglades awake, its birds calling, its waters hiding the beast. The swamp's air was heavy, the skunk ape's growl a distant echo, its presence near. The Seminole site was a clearing, its center a stone circle, symbols carved deep. I knelt, my hands tracing the carvings. These are protective against the skunk ape. Tom scattered salt, his voice low. The journal mentioned a ritual burn the herbs. Sarah lit the herbs, their smoke rising, the air shifting as we chanted old words. The skunk ape's growl grew, its stench rolling in, its form emerging from the mangroves. I shouted, "Here we go, you smelly bastard, let's see if this works." The beast charged, its claws swiping, the salt circle glowing under its weight. Tom thrust the flare gun, its light blinding, the skunk ape howling as it recoiled. Sarah chanted louder, her voice steady, the smoke thickening, the beast trembling. The ritual peaked, the skunk ape's form fading, the swamp's curse weakening. But the beast spoke, its voice guttural. "This is my swamp, you cannot banish me." I snapped, "Watch me, you overgrown skunk, I've lost too much to you." The skunk ape lunged, its claws breaking the circle, the ritual faltering in the chaos. Tom tackled it, his machete slashing, the beast's blood black, its roar deafening. Sarah fired the flare, the light searing, the skunk ape retreating into the swamp. I chased it, my camera snapping. "You don't get to run, not after Ellie." The beast vanished, its stench fading, the Seminole site glowing with residual power. We collapsed, our bodies spent, the ritual incomplete, the skunk ape wounded. Bill arrived, his rangers armed. "You heard it. That's more than most can say." The Everglades sighed, the beast's curse alive, our fight far from over. I stared at the swamp, my resolve iron. "It's not done, I'll be back for you." Tom nodded, his machete bloody. "We'll need more than salt next time." Sarah clutched the herbs, her voice firm. "For Ellie and Mark we end this." The rangers escorted us out, their rifles ready, the swamp shadows long and dark. The skunk ape's growl echoed, its red eyes watching, its vengeance a promise. I whispered, "You took my team, but I'll take your curse count on it." The Everglades held its secrets, the beast a legend, our survival a fragile hope. Bill radioed for backup, his voice grim. "We'll hunt it, you rest now." I shook my head, my camera heavy. "Rest? Not until that thing's gone for good." The swamp's curse lingered, the skunk ape's rage a storm we'd face again. By 1980, the Everglades had become a place of whispered terror. I'd left photography, my hands too shaky, my nights haunted by Ellie's final scream. Tom became a full-time guide, his tours cautious, his machete a constant companion. Sarah moved to Atlanta, her letters sparse, her fear of the swamp a permanent mark. I settled in Miami, my new job at a library. My days spent researching the skunk ape. The journal from the shack spoke of a deeper ritual, one to banish the beast for good. I muttered, "Banish a 7-foot stink monster? I'd rather set the swamp on fire." But the Everglades called, its pull relentless, the skunk ape's stench in my nightmares. I returned, my camera replaced with salt, herbs, and a Seminole charm I'd found. The swamp hadn't changed, its waters black, its air thick with the beast's presence. I trekked to the Seminole site, the stone circle still there, its symbols weathered. Tom joined me, his face lined, his voice gruff. "You sure, Clara? It might kill us." I nodded, my voice steady. "For Ellie and Mark I owe them peace." We set up the ritual, salt circles wider, herbs burning stronger, the swamp tense. The skunk ape came, its stench a wave, its growl shaking the ground beneath us. I chanted, my voice rising, the beast's red eyes locked on mine, its form towering. Tom held a flare gun, his voice low. "It's working, don't stop, Clara." The skunk ape roared, its body trembling, the ritual pulling at its cursed soul. I shouted, "Leave this swamp, you smelly nightmare, your time's up." The beast collapsed, its form fading, the swamp's air clearing, the curse lifting. By 1990, the Everglades felt lighter, the skunk ape's terror fading. Locals spoke of peace, their fear easing, their tales of the beast less frequent. I wrote a book, Swamp Shadows, my story shared, my hope to warn others. Tom retired, his guiding days over, his machete a relic of our fight, now on my shelf. Sarah visited, her smile tentative. "You did it, Clara, you set us free." The swamp's waters flowed, its cypress trees tall, the skunk ape a memory. Rangers patrolled, their reports quiet, the beast's tracks no longer fresh. Visitors came, their cameras ready, their voices awed by the Everglades' beauty. Some smelled a faint stench, saw red eyes, their tales a whisper of the past. The Everglades stood as a testament, its curse weakened, the beast's grip loosening. I sat in my Miami apartment, my book a bestseller, my nights finally quiet. Tom's machete gleamed, a reminder of our fight, a symbol of our survival. Sarah's letters grew longer, her fear fading, her life rebuilt far from the swamp. I whispered to the night, "Ellie, Mark, I hope you're at peace now." The skunk ape's legend lingered, its terror a story, its stench a fading echo. Locals fished, their boats steady, their stories of the beast a badge of pride. The swamp's air was clear, its wildlife thriving, the skunk ape a shadow of the past. Rangers smiled, their patrols safe, the Everglades a sanctuary once more. I smiled, my fight not over, my resolve to return if the beast ever woke again. The Everglades held its peace, the skunk ape's curse, a battle we'd won for now. By 2000, the Everglades had begun to heal, its dark reputation softening. I was 56, my hair graying, my book Swamp Shadows, a staple in local libraries. Tom had passed in 1995, his machete now a museum piece in Miami. Sarah lived quietly in Atlanta, her kids growing, her visits to me a cherished ritual. But the swamp's pull never faded, its whispers in my dreams, the skunk ape's red eyes watching. A ranger's report stirred me, a hiker's gear found, scratched with claw marks, near the cypress grove. I muttered, "That 7-foot stink monster, I thought we'd put you to rest." I gathered my notes, the Seminole journal, my resolve to face the beast one more time. The Everglades awaited, its waters still, its air heavy with the promise of the past. I trekked alone, my bones aching, my heart steady, the swamp unchanged in its eerie beauty. The cypress grove was as I remembered, the stone circle weathered, its symbols faint. I set up the ritual, my hands slower now, the salt circle smaller, the herbs pungent. The skunk ape stench returned, faint at first, then overwhelming, its growl a low rumble. I whispered, "I knew you'd come, you smelly bastard, I'm ready this time." The beast emerged, its form larger, its fur darker, its red eyes burning with ancient rage. I chanted, my voice steady, the herbs burning, the smoke curling around the stone circle. The skunk ape roared, its claws swiping, the circle holding, the ritual stronger now. I shouted, you took my friends, but you won't take me. Leave this swamp. The beast trembled, its form flickering, the curse weakening under the Seminole magic. The Everglades sighed, the skunk ape retreating, its growl fading into the night. By 2010, the swamp felt lighter, the skunk ape's presence a fading shadow. I updated my book, Swamp Shadows, The Return, my story a warning and a triumph. Sarah's kids read it, their eyes wide. Aunt Clara, you fought a monster? I smiled, my voice soft. I did. For your mom and our friends, it's at peace now. The Everglades thrived, its wildlife abundant, the beast's stench a rare whisper. Rangers patrolled, their reports calm, the swamp's curse a distant memory. Locals fished, their boats gliding, their tales of the skunk ape a badge of honor. Visitors trekked, their cameras flashing, their awe for the swamp renewed. Some heard a growl, smelled a whiff, their stories a quiet thrill in the night. The Everglades stood as a monument, its guardian weakened, its peace fragile. I sat in my Miami home, my book a legacy, my fight a story for the ages. Sarah visited, her kids in tow, their laughter a balm to my old wounds. I whispered to the night, Ellie, Mark, Tom, I hope you see this. The skunk ape's legend lived, its terror softened, its story a draw for the curious. A local guide, Jake, 25, took up Tom's mantle, his tours cautious but brave. He called me, his voice eager. Clara, I saw tracks, should I worry? I laughed, my voice steady. Keep your torch ready, Jake, it's still out there. The swamp's air was clear, its waters flowing, the skunk ape a shadow of the past. I smiled, my fight not over, my resolve to protect the Everglades eternal. The Everglades held its secrets, the beast a legend, our victory a hard-won peace. By 2020, the Everglades had become a place of cautious wonder. I was 76, my body slowing, my mind sharp with memories of the skunk ape. Sarah's kids, now in their teens, took up my cause, their curiosity a spark I'd lit. Her daughter, Lily, 16, read my book, her voice eager. I want to see this swamp, Aunt Clara. I smiled, my hands trembling. It's beautiful, Lily, but dangerous. Take Jake with you. Jake, now 35, led tours, his knowledge deep, his machete a nod to Tom's legacy. Lily and her brother, Caleb, 14, joined Jake, their cameras ready, their eyes bright. I warned them, my voice firm. If you smell that stench, run, don't play hero. The Everglades welcomed them, its waters calm, its air free of the skunk ape scent. But the swamp held its secrets, its shadows deep, the beast a whisper in the reeds. They trekked to the cypress grove, the stone circle a monument to our past battles. Lily snapped photos, her voice excited. This is where you fought it, right? Jake nodded, his machete ready. Right here, Clara's ritual weakened it for years. Caleb set up a recorder, his voice curious. Do you think it's really gone, Jake? The swamp answered, a faint stench rising, a low growl rolling through the trees. Lily froze, her camera shaking. That's it, isn't it? The skunk ape? Jake grabbed his flare gun, his voice tense. Stay close, it's not gone, just quiet. The skunk ape emerged, its form scarred, its red eyes dimmer, its stench a warning. I'd warned them, my voice echoing in their minds. Fire, it hates fire. Lily lit a flare, the light searing, the skunk ape retreating with a frustrated growl. They returned to Miami, their faces pale, their story a new chapter in the legend. Lily hugged me, her voice shaky. "You were right, Aunt Clara, it's still there." I nodded, my heart heavy. "It's tied to the swamp, it'll never fully leave." Caleb showed me the recorder, a growl captured, the skunk ape's presence confirmed. Jake sat with us, his voice grim. "It's weaker, but it's still a guardian." I updated my book again, Swamp Shadows Echoes, my legacy a warning for the young. The Everglades thrived, its wildlife abundant, the skunk ape a shadow of its former terror. Locals respected it, their offerings small, their boats cautious in the deeper waters. Visitors came, their tours guided, their awe for the swamp tempered by the tailies. The swamp's curse lingered, the skunk ape's presence a quiet threat, its legend alive. I sat with Lily and Caleb, my voice soft. "You faced it, and you survived." Lily smiled, her camera full. "We'll keep your story alive, Aunt Clara." Caleb nodded, his recorder humming. "I want to learn the ritual, just in case." I laughed, my heart warm. "Good kids, the Everglades need protectors like you." Jake took up the mantle, his tours a blend of history and caution, his respect deep. The skunk ape's growl was rare, its stench a whisper, its red eyes a fading memory. The swamp's air was clear, its waters flowing, the beast a legend for the next generation. Locals fished, their stories shared, the skunk ape a part of their swamp soul. I smiled, my fight passed on, my resolve in the hands of those I'd inspired. The Everglades stood as a testament, its guardian quiet, its peace a fragile gift. By 2030, the Everglades had become a place of pilgrimage and awe. I was 86, my body frail, my mind a vault of the skunk ape's terror and triumph. Lily, now 26, opened a museum in Miami, Swamp Shadows Museum, to honor our story. She displayed my book, Tom's Machete, the Seminole journal, a shrine to our fight. Caleb, 24, helped, his recordings of the skunk ape's growls a chilling exhibit. Visitors flocked, their eyes wide, their voices hushed as they read our tale. A photo of the skunk ape, its red eyes glaring, hung above the entrance, my best shot. Lily guided tours, her voice steady. My Aunt Clara faced this beast and lived. I visited, my wheelchair creaking, my heart swelling with pride for her work. The Everglades legacy lived, the skunk ape a legend, its terror a story for the ages. A boy, Ethan, 10, stared at the photo, his voice awed. "It's real, isn't it?" I nodded, my voice soft. "Very real, Ethan, 7 feet of stink and fury." Lily showed him the journal, its pages yellowed. "Clara used this to fight it." Ethan touched Tom's machete, his eyes bright. "I want to be brave like her." Caleb played the growl, the museum's lights dim, the visitors gasping at the sound. I smiled, my hands trembling. "It's at peace now, but it's still out there." Lily hugged me, her voice warm. "You gave us this, Aunt Clara, a legacy." The museum thrived, its exhibits grim, its walls lined with photos of the swamp. Visitors left offerings, small tokens, coins, notes honoring the skunk ape's legend. The Everglades stood silent, its curse dormant, the beast a shadow in the reeds. Jake still led tours, his stories vivid, his machete a symbol of caution in the swamp. He called me, his voice tense. "Clara, I smelled it today, faint, but there." I sighed, my heart heavy. "It'll never fully leave, Jake, keep your flare ready." Lily updated the museum, her voice firm. "We'll teach respect for the swamp." Caleb researched, his voice eager. I found more Seminole ritual, stronger ones. I nodded, my resolve firm. If it wakes, you'll be ready. I trust you both. The Skunk Ape's legend grew, its terror a tale, its stench a memory for most. Locals fished, their boats steady, their stories of the beast a badge of pride. Visitors trekked, their cameras flashing, their awe for the Everglades renewed. The swamp's air was clear, its waters flowing, the Skunk Ape a guardian no more. I sat in the museum, my book in my hands, my fight a story for the world. Lily's voice echoed, her tour ending. Clara's bravery saved the Everglades. By 2040, the Everglades stood as a beacon of mystery and beauty. I was 96, my body failing, my mind still tethered to the Skunk Ape's curse. Lily, now 36, ran the museum, her voice a guide for those seeking the swamp's truth. Caleb, 34, had mastered the Seminole rituals, his resolve a mirror of mine. A report came, a camper vanished, his tent shredded, the Skunk Ape's stench reported. I called them, my voice weak. It's waking again, you need to finish it. Lily nodded, her eyes fierce. We'll do it, Aunt Clara, for you and the others. Caleb gathered supplies, his voice steady. I've got the ritual, it's stronger now. They trekked to the Everglades, Jake with them, their team ready to face the beast. The swamp welcomed them, its waters dark, its air heavy with the skunk ape scent. They reached the cypress grove, the stone circle glowing faintly in the moonlight. Lily set up the salt, her hands steady. This is for Ellie, Mark, and Tom. Caleb burned the herbs, his chant rising, the smoke thick, the swamp's air shifting. Jake held a flare gun, his machete ready. It's coming, I can smell it. The skunk ape emerged, its form scarred, its red eyes dim, its growl a tired roar. Lily shouted, we end this tonight, you smelly monster, for good. Caleb's chant grew, the circle glowing, the skunk ape trembling under the magic. The beast spoke, its voice low. This swamp is mine, you cannot take it. Jake fired the flare, the light searing. We're not taking it, we're freeing it. The skunk ape collapsed, its form dissolving, the curse breaking in a burst of light. The Everglades sighed, its air clearing, the skunk ape's stench gone for the first time. Lily knelt, her voice soft. It's over, Aunt Clara, we did it. Caleb collected the ash, his voice firm. The ritual worked, it's truly gone. Jake stared at the grove, his machete lowered. The swamp feels lighter. They returned to Miami, their faces bright, their story a final chapter in the legend. Lily called me, her voice warm. The skunk ape's gone, Aunt Clara, rest easy. I smiled, my heart light. You did good, Lily, I'm proud of you both. The museum updated its exhibit. The skunk ape story closed, its terror a memory. Visitors came, their voices awed. The Everglades a place of peace at last. The swamp's curse was lifted, its guardian gone, its legacy one of triumph. I lay in my bed, my book beside me, my fight finally over in 2040. Lily and Caleb sat with me, their hands in mine, their voices a comfort. I whispered, "Ellie, Mark, Tom, the swamp's free now. Rest well." The skunk ape's legend lived, its terror a tale, its stench a footnote in history. The Everglades thrived, its wildlife abundant, the swamp a sanctuary once more. Locals fished, their boats gliding, their stories of the beast a badge of honor. Visitors trekked, their cameras flashing, their awe for the swamp untainted by fear. The museum stood as a monument, its walls a testament to our survival. I smiled, my eyes closing, my legacy in the hands of those I'd inspired. The Everglades held its peace. The skunk apes echo a gentle song in the dawn. By 2050, the Everglades stood as a symbol of resilience and wonder. I had passed in 2040, my ashes scattered in the cypress grove, per my wish. Lily, now 46, ran the Swamp Shadows Museum, her voice a beacon for the curious. Caleb, 44, taught Seminole rituals, his knowledge a shield for the swamp's future. The skunk ape's legend had softened, its terror a story, its stench a simulation in the museum. Visitors came, their eyes wide, their voices hushed as they walked through our history. A photo of me hung above the entrance, my camera in hand, my smile fierce and proud. Lily guided a tour, her voice warm. Clara Hayes faced the skunk ape and won. Caleb played the growl, the visitors gasping, the beast's echo a chilling memory. The Everglades thrived, its curse lifted, the skunk ape a legend for the ages. A girl, Mia, 12, touched my photo, her voice soft. She was brave, wasn't she? Lily nodded, her eyes misty. The bravest she fought for us all, Mia. Caleb showed the Seminole journal, its pages preserved. She used this to save the swamp. Mia stared at the skunk ape's photo, its red eyes glaring. I'm glad it's gone. Lily smiled, her voice steady. It's at peace, thanks to Clara and our family. The museum buzzed, its exhibits alive, the skunk ape story a draw for the world. Jake, now 55, still led tours, his machete a relic, his stories a bridge to the past. He spoke of me, his voice proud. Clara was a legend, she made the swamp safe. Visitors left offerings, flowers, coins, notes, honoring the skunk ape's defeated curse. The Everglades stood silent, its waters clear, the beast a shadow in the swamp's heart. Locals fished, their boats gliding, their stories of the skunk ape a badge of pride. A fisherman, Henry 60, shared his tale. I smelled it once, in 95. His son laughed, his voice light. It's gone, Dad, Clara and Lily made sure. The swamp's air was clean, its wildlife thriving, the skunk ape a memory for most. Rangers patrolled, their reports calm, the Everglades a sanctuary for all. Visitors trekked, their cameras flashing, their awe for the swamp untainted by fear. Some claimed a whiff, a distant growl, their stories a quiet thrill in the night. Lily dismissed them, her voice firm. The skunk ape sleeps, only echoes remain. Caleb taught the rituals, his voice steady. We're ready if it ever wakes. The Everglades held its peace, the skunk ape's legacy a gentle song in the reeds. The museum stood as a monument, its walls a testament to our fight and triumph. Lily and Caleb carried my torch, their resolve a shield for the swamp's future. A new exhibit opened. Clara's legacy, my camera displayed, my story alive. Visitors read my book, their voices awed. The skunk ape, a legend they'd never face. The Everglades thrived, its waters flowing, the swamp a sanctuary for the world. Locals respected it, their offerings small, their boats cautious but free. The skunk ape's terror was gone, its curse lifted, its story a lesson in bravery. Lily whispered to my photo, "We'll keep your fight alive, Aunt Clara." Caleb nodded, his voice firm, "The swamp's safe thanks to you." The Everglades glowed, the skunk ape's echo, a whisper of peace in the dawn. By 2075, the Everglades had become a global treasure, its beauty untarnished. Lily, now 61, had passed the museum to her daughter, Emma, 32, a fierce curator. Caleb, 59, still taught Seminole rituals, his students a new generation of protectors. The skunk ape's legend lived, its terror a distant tale, its stench a simulation for tourists. Emma displayed my book, Swamp Shadows, its pages worn, its story a beacon for the curious. A hologram of me stood at the entrance, my voice echoing, "The Everglades are worth fighting for." Visitors watched, their eyes wide. The skunk ape's growl, a sound from a bygone era. Emma guided a tour, her voice warm. Clara Hayes faced a monster and saved us all. Caleb played the growl, the museum's lights dim, the visitors gasping at the echo. The Everglades stood as a testament, its curse gone. The skunk ape, a legend of the past. A boy, Noah, 10, touched the hologram, his voice awed. She was a hero, wasn't she? Emma nodded, her smile proud. Yes, Noah Clara was our hero and my great-great-aunt. Caleb showed the Seminole journal, its symbols glowing. She used this to banish the beast. Noah stared at the skunk ape's photo, its red eyes dim. "I'm glad she won." Emma laughed, her voice light. "She did, Noah, and we keep her legacy alive." The museum thrived, its exhibits alive, the skunk ape story a draw for the world. Jake had passed, his machete displayed, his tours a memory, his stories in Emma's voice. Visitors left offerings, flowers, notes, small tokens honoring the skunk ape's defeated curse. The Everglades stood silent, its waters clear, the beast a shadow in the swamp's history. Locals fished, their boats gliding, their stories of the skunk ape a badge of pride. The swamp's air was clean, its wildlife thriving, the skunk ape a memory for all. A ranger, Mia, 30, patrolled, her voice calm. No growls, no stench, just peace. Her partner nodded, his voice light. Clara's legacy, it's why we're safe. Visitors trekked, their cameras flashing, their awe for the Everglades pure and bright. Some claimed a whiff, a distant growl, their stories a quiet thrill in the night. Emma dismissed them, her voice firm. The skunk ape's gone, only echoes remain. Caleb taught the rituals, his voice steady. We're ready, just in case. The Everglades held its peace, the skunk ape's legacy, a gentle song in the reeds. Emma whispered to my hologram, "We'll keep your fight alive, Clara." The swamp glowed, its curse lifted, its guardian a legend of peace in the dawn. If this tale of the swamp ape stirred your heart with its swampy grip, if Clara's fight against the beast made you feel the Everglades pulse, if the skunk ape's haunting echoes left you breathless, seeking more mystery, show your support, give this video a like to honor the lost of the swamp. Join us on this journey into the unexplained, where legends whisper in the reeds. Subscribe for more stories of mystery, history, and the truths we dare to face. What do you think the skunk ape still hides? What secrets linger in the Everglades? Drop your thoughts below. Let's uncover the mysteries together. The legacy of the unseen endures. A new chapter awaits your curiosity. Your wonder lights the path forward. Let's walk it as one.